Peace, y'all. I just wanted to get on here and say this one thing because whenever I do the open panels on here, it's like the way things played out from this channel or on Blue's channel and stuff like that. And certain people in this space do know that me and this man investing out the blue didn't talk behind the scenes, right? Okay, so when everything played out on YouTube the way it played out, let me just say this. A lot of things that Blue went through on YouTube is fucked up. I'm gonna just put that out there before I do this messy ass live stream. Okay. A lot of people lied on him. A lot of people, it's one thing for you to call him names because even I did that in a jokingly way when me and him was talking, but a lot of people took shit too far. They said this man had AIDS and they say he was cheating on his wife and blah blah blah. I mean, he technically was with me, but they tried to put that shit on Holly, and they knew Holly have a successful marriage, and I don't like that part of it, right? But it's another part that people can't see that is the issue that nobody even talked about on here, okay? And it got to play out because me and Lex, before even previously, before me and Blue was talking, me and him already had beef. Okay, me and Lex already had a back and forth. And so because of that, it's like this whole brand new conversation about EFI and restricting Black people spirituality just to Africa. Because I always asked Blue, when we first started talking, I asked Blue, I said, how do you feel about me being an Aboriginal? You feel what I'm saying? Me feeling like, the white man lied to us about us having African ancestry just so we could be focused on something else. He said, no, I agree with that. But he said, I agree with Pan-Africanism too. He said, I think it's all legit because he said we was a global people. We was everywhere. And then when you see him in a chat, he put up the American arrows and he put up in his greeting, he'll put up the American flag. You don't see him put up an African flag. You see him put up an American flag. So now he's so Black or whatever. But okay, whatever. Now he's so African or whatever. But okay. That's number one. Okay. Number two, motherfucker, I don't want to hear this that you didn't know that I was a complete white witch. Yes, I am a white witch. Yes, I have melanin, but the things I deal with is not dark. I understand that sure crew and shit like that is called dark side. You never mentioned anything to me about dark side, who ran dark side, how dark side operate. You didn't make me dark side. You just didn't expect me to address that because you was like, oh, I'm fine with it because she cussing out whoever. But I been told you, we've been had a conversation about how much I wanted to join the league. Motherfucker, you ain't even know, but I really wanted to probably debate you on a few topics. I felt like you was holding back. Now I know. Because, what was it? Like a month before we was talking, this is the stream that I did on white magic. And I talked about the difference between white magic and black magic. And I talked about what I practice. And I went into my spirits. And so this is him on the screen. We had a whole conversation during this live stream. And I know y'all like, bitch, that's from July 9th. No, I want y'all to see how for months, this not the only conversation we had about the spirits that I deal with. So motherfucker, you knew I wasn't into no EFI. You knew I didn't deal with no spiritual pantheon that was African. Okay, I always made it clear I was into Vedic knowledge and I was into Buddhism. You cannot sit over there on your fucking page and now decide to do live streams on African spirituality and tries to make it seem like you coming at me like I got a misunderstanding. Well, motherfucker, this what you wanted when we was talking. We started talking at the like what is it at the end of October, the beginning of November. That's when we really started talking. right? So you had full knowledge of what the fuck was going on. Now all of a sudden, my whole point about it is your only biggest thing, the reason why your wife is jumping off the porch and talking shit about you, Blue, is because you hang off another man clitoris hairs. Okay. I mean, not clitoris. Yeah, he because he got a clitoris. He a bitch ass nigga. But my whole point about it is when you tried to act brand new like you didn't know your wife was a fucking Christian. As soon as Lex started coming around, you started acting brand new. That's why your wife got it out for Lex so bad. That's why how I wasn't, even though I was slapping the shit out your wife on these YouTube streets for you, she didn't give a really a fuck about me. That's why she thought that pedophile comment was going to sit me down, talking about, oh girl, you swinging for a pedophile. She was talking about Rudemp, but she tried to, like I said, tried to make it seem like she was talking about you, because only her chat know that she be talking shit about you. And when she be talking about shit about you, that's why she got so many followers, because they know, oh, this crazy lady that went online and told everybody about her husband. They don't know the truth because she has so many lies. Motherfucker, I'm gonna get on here and tell the truth. Okay. Every single time I get irritated about you coming over here or whatever, which I really don't give a fuck, I don't want nobody to think that I'm bitter. Motherfucker, I know what I'm talking about. Me and you definitely, and I can show, I just wanted to show a receipt that motherfucker, we've been on here talking about the spirits that I dealt with way before you and Lex act like you had a problem, way before you basically blocked me because of Lex, because of that conversation, the way it went down. It wasn't because motherfucker dark side is yours and I was, blaspheming stemia. It wasn't because of none of that. Motherfucker, you pussy at the end of the day. You pussy. And I'm not going to this. I know I kept saying the last time I wasn't going to address it, but I'm tired of motherfuckers on the panel making it seem like I'm not supposed to ever throw shade because that motherfucker's confused. This is the reason why, because we had a whole conversation about this numerous times, and now all of a sudden when Lex come around and we have a disagreement on how we see spirituality, all of a sudden, motherfucker, you ghosted me and you promised me that you'll never do no pussy ass nigga shit like that. Not only did you ghost me, your homeboy, even before you decided to cut me off, your homeboy was calling me all types of fat hoes and bitches and shit like that. Motherfucker, you like it. Motherfucker, we had conversations about how you want me to get bigger. Now on live or whatever, you letting this motherfucker call me all types of names on his community tab. I don't really give a fuck. But you such a pussy, you can't say, hey, Lex, calm down. At least I like that. Or watch your mouth calling people fat hoes, because that's anti-African. That's anti-black. Motherfucker, we know about how women in African village get taken away. If they skinny, they get taken away for months, gain weight just so they can come back to their village and find a new man. We all saw fat girls, motherfucker, with Monique. Let's keep it a buck. Like, like, come on now. And we already know the BMI chart is fat phobic towards black people. And motherfucker, I don't even came up like that. So you don't even know how big I am. You just, but, and the whole thing about it was your nigga was begging for pussy pics, ass pics, fupa pics, feet pics of this fat ass body. So you need to check that out. You need to tell Blue or whatever, maybe you feel like it's anti-African and y'all dark side shit, that he like big girls. Maybe he need to fix that attraction, I guess, quote unquote, because your homeboy, like, I just want to know what's the issue, because at the end of the day, even on a social level, bar for bar, y'all really not that fucking pro-black. What's his name? Scheme just got up there on Angel Food platform and just praised white women for not white women, praised light-skinned women for no reason. It was like, oh, she was light-skinned, she was perfect. I understand he tried to clean it up because he said he was in a dirty-ass, trifling-ass bar and she was the cutest one there. But he didn't even have to mention her complexion. He could have just said she was sexy as shit and left it at that. You find what I'm saying? You look on Lex wall, he got white bitches on there. He talking about some life is beautiful. What you mean life is beautiful? It's not one black person, one black lady in that video. And I talked to Yanga, and Yanga can think of even more situations where Lex was trolling about trying to call Yanga American, trolling, talking about I can think of a couple times where he was trolling, talking about being with a white woman, how he don't fuck with black women, how the black woman is now a snitch just because of what that happened with the Rob Rack situation. So motherfucker, it's not like you don't know that you and your crew not even fucking built like that. You're not built like that. So other motherfucker, other you is trying to convince me to change my spirituality. Because motherfucker, I talked about in this live stream how I prefer white magic over black magic because I feel like the consequences of black magic is way too strong, and the consequences can be way too strong, especially if you don't know what you're doing and your purpose and everything about you and your energy don't align with that spirit. That's what I talked about in that live stream. Man, you had a whole conversation and you still wanted to fuck with me after that because we started talking around October. So the only thing you could do is get on here and completely deny that we even had a conversation outside of YouTube. And that's what I want you to do, because motherfucker, I'm gonna back you into the corner because you're not gonna silence me at the end of the day. I want everybody to know that it didn't have nothing to do with our conversation, our disagreement. I want everybody to know that, motherfucker, you trying to follow behind Lex. You tried to, because it's no way you thought, trying to make it seem like you wanted to learn Vedic knowledge and trying to make it seem like you wanted to learn Buddhism from me. You feel what I'm saying? Was cool. Unless you was trying to convert me on some cult type shit. And when it didn't happen, or the way it sprung out online, you got so mad that I revealed the fact that you was talking to somebody that was into white magic, somebody that was into Wicca, somebody that was into Hinduism, somebody that was into Buddhism, because around your pro-black African, Pan-African homeboy, you know, who's Pan-African, who you and him is Pan-African when the fuck it suits y'all, or when the fuck y'all want to win an argument. And it doesn't make any sense, this type of stances y'all take in debates, and y'all don't even have to take them stances. And Blue be up there sharing Sister Noble streams on Hebrew Israelites and shit. And then here go Yanga. Oh, he just doing that to fuck with us. I said, no, he's not. He's doing that because he still believes in it. That's why he took that position of why he feel like black people should call themselves Hebrew Israelites for political power. That's why when I had that panel, I said, no, let's talk about it, because he will completely shun me on some cult Jehovah's Witness type shit. Like we didn't have all these conversations. So, sir, just like how your wife said, the one thing that your wife didn't lie about is the fact that you act like you want to study that person, that woman's spirituality. And then when it don't work out, no matter what type of history y'all done had, you ready to let that lady go. And the fucked up part about it is, me and your wife see, it's Lex. You here, you a grown ass man, but you here to impress another man, Lex Vortex. You're a pussy. And I gotta talk about it, y'all, because I want y'all to know for certain, for sure, why I call him investing out the deal. I want y'all to know for sure, for certain, why I'm bitter. So I'm gonna let it go. I'm actually doing real good, because I ain't get on here like Nandy or your wife and all that other shit and start telling a whole bunch of lies and shit like that. I'm telling the truth. You've been new, motherfucker. Stop having live stream after live stream. Stop even addressing me. Me and Yanga, we did our fucking live stream on Hinduism because he had questions. We did a live stream earlier. I wasn't even talking about this. I was talking about the fucking league, and I'm trying to remember why Yanga asked me a question, but he had asked me a question, and I had pulled up some information, and he realized, he said, hold on, I need to see the specific gods and goddesses on a situation. So why the fuck is Lex talking? We ain't even do our stream on E5. That's really supposed to be response to you, but I don't know. I still want to do it, but yeah, I'm doing it for me because, motherfucker, I do know about E5. I do know about voodoo. I probably know more than you, but you up there running your fucking mouth. My nigga, you don't have an Ori. You only deal with grandma. Like you said, I only conjure up grandma. Well, okay, you keep talking about what's safe, what's spiritually safe or whatever, but motherfucker, where your Ori at? You feel what I'm saying? You really not, you and for real, I'm gonna be honest with you, you really not spiritually built like that. I can really pull your card for real. I can really pull your card for it. Okay, because you really didn't spiritually know how to do a whole bunch of shit more than me or whatever. But I'm more powerful than you. You're not fucking with me. Especially on this conversational tip and stuff like that and trying to make people look dumb. You look dumb as fuck. You look sad, for real. I just wanted people to know that you're a coochie ass nigga following behind Lex or like acting like you didn't know what I was spiritually into. I ain't bring up our personal conversations. I ain't going here and say you have a disease because you still share Sister Nandy streams after she said you have a disease. You still would have a whole conversation with Nandy, but you won't talk to me. Why? It's based off Lex. I don't know what it is about that man. I don't know if y'all said if you let him take over your cult. I don't know if you feel like it's too like if you spiritually scared of him. I don't know if you feel like he gonna spiritually slap the shit out you. But for some reason, you get around that man and do a whole switcheroo. You try to act like you're not even attracted to big girls, motherfucker. Let's be clear, motherfucker. Your wife is chunky. Okay, let's be clear, motherfucker. And I know, as soon as whatever you was going through with your wife, because she a hardcore Christian or Hebrew Israelite, whatever the fuck she is, you probably got mad because she was over there rooting for them when you first joined the league. But motherfucker, that's what she's supposed to do. She's not into African spirituality. She's like, I don't even like the bitch, but she's a Christian. She's a Hebrew. Of course she's gonna be over there with the men. And then you're gonna try to get mad because that man got out of control or whatever the fuck. But come on now, you be on late night streams with women talking talking for hours and shit. Evidently the conversation got inappropriate. You've been caught in bitches chats talking shit. See, that's why when Nature Mom, I'm gonna just leave out with this and I'm gonna end the stream. That's why when Nature Mom, yo, the last stream she did, and I was in the comments trolling and she kind of like laughed it off or whatever. I couldn't really hit the link because I wanted to say she talked about social media and how, people should be more private and and how social media messed up relationships. And I said, no, I said, you can't expose a bitch who ain't got shit to hide. Right? I said, I didn't really get to explain what I meant when I said that. The most success. Yeah, it is good, Karia, because then I get to get it off my chest. You feel what I'm saying? I don't really give a fuck about whether I joined the debate league or not. He in the league, and it's been motherfuckers dragging him for filth outside of the league who got put out of the league or whatever. And guess what? Those people that got put out of the league or was talking shit about SVL, they can still come over here and have a segment on the show because that's how Blackson get down. Blackson even asked for Sister Noble to have a segment on his show so that way she can cuss him out. This Dorena Uncensored. I'm not being messy. I'm not talking about that man's personal life for real. I'm talking about something that played out on YouTube. For real. What am I supposed to do if I join the league and only me and Blue have an issue? But see, I'm glad it's playing out like this because think about Karia. If me and him was still talking behind the scenes, let's say this never happened. If me and him was still talking behind the scenes, it still was going to unravel messy in a messy way because if I took a stance that he don't agree with and I wanted to debate him on it and I joined the league and I'm over here just chilling with the arena, he was going to get mad. Right? He was going to get mad. He probably was going to either block me or as soon as Lex seen it, he was going to get mad. Because at the end of the day, this is not about the league, my nigga. This is deeper than the league. This is about motherfuckers This is about motherfucker. You could have found somebody that was you knew for sure was into EFI. You knew for sure was into voodoo, and you could have minded your own business. This is about motherfucker. You was seeking me out, and you knew what I was into. And then when things don't look right in front of your homeboy because it's revealed what I'm really into and how deep I am into it, only you knew that. You get upset. Like you really thought that African spirituality was the basis of my spirituality. You really mad like I'm some type of coon. Now all of a sudden I'm an Asiatic sleeper cell. Now all of a sudden I'm a coon and shit like that. He basically called me a coon and I'm supposed to just let it go. He not gonna say it directly to me because he pussy, but that's basically what you're saying. You basically called me white girl when I'm more pro-black than you and everybody in your crew. So yes, when you come into pro-black spaces and we talking about certain situations and certain things, motherfucker, no. And this social media shit, it gets messy. Like I said about the Nature Mom thing, because I didn't mean to troll her. I meant to hit the link, but I didn't have time. My kids were that crazy. Like I said, I'm gonna leave out with this before I end the stream. She was talking about how so people on social media need to keep stuff to themselves, and my whole thing about it is the way certain stuff play out on social media, you can't help it. Sometimes it's just going to get messy, and a lot of people omit information through social media. I can't even say just outright lie. They omit information. You got some people that will diminish the fact that they even have social media under the guise of I'm more mature than you and I'm private and I don't put my relationship business out there. You want to know when it comes down to a man, and sometimes women, they're lying because they want to do them. And sometimes it don't even have to be about infidelity, motherfucker. It could be about a cult and them trying to keep up faces with that. So my whole thing about it is, even with the infidelity situation, somebody could make it seem like, oh, I'm just on here doing business whole time. You look on in a space like this, they on an open panel talking to somebody for hours, get loose on that bitch. The conversations can get intimate. And you wondering like, what's this? And the person sitting there looking dumb. Because YouTube is an open platform. It's not like on Facebook where you can block somebody and you won't see their content no more. No, you can still block that person and still see their videos come up. You can still block that person and still see the link and still be able to hit it. That's why I don't, in this day and age, so many people have a phone, so many people at least have a Facebook, a YouTube, you feel what I'm saying? Something that they can go on or whatever. And I feel like when couples don't do it together, like, oh, we're going to go in here, make our money, we're going to have our own storyline. And that storyline and everything that they're doing online together as a unit, it has to be conducive to that couple. You feel what I'm saying? Now, 9 times out of 10, because of people try to act like they so mature because they don't want to be on social media, because they don't want people in their business. Once it's always one person in that relationship who's out there on social media, or they're hiding it, or even if they is out there and they tell a partner, that it leaves the other partner feeling weird. And then when the other person makes an account and just want to interact with their spouse or significant other, it's just like sometimes it's the significant other who try to act like they're not on social media acting bad, be like, oh my God, why are you doing this? Why are you in my space? You're trying to make me feel uncomfortable. And it's just like, motherfucker, I seen how you was on here talking to people and it's making me feel uncomfortable too. Like you talking to the opposite sex going hard for hours. And I'm not even talking about sliding in the DMs. I'm talking about like open panels that you have where these conversations get intimate. And when your significant other asks, why is it like that? The other person don't have nothing to say. Now, I'm not saying this is all the time, but these people in this day and age who try to emphasize that, and I'm not even talking about Nature Mom, who try to emphasize, oh, I'm more mature than you, I don't use social media and stuff like that. sometimes in this day and age, it's a story behind that. Sometimes you might just have to still look up that person name, make sure they don't have no social media and stuff like that, because they might be trying to be sneaky. You feel what I'm saying? They might be trying to be sneaky. A lot of people, I'm not saying that it's not possible for some person that not. Like, I'm gonna give you a good example. Even a lot of people on YouTube feel like they better or they superior because they on YouTube. They feel like their channel can get monetized and stuff like that. But at the same time, they be like, a lot of people. I'm not even talking about who I'm talking about in this live stream. I'm talking about in general. They'll be on a live stream for hours, and then the conversation will turn inappropriate, and it's just like, oh, I was just flirting. No, you was just cheating in your mind, motherfucker. That's like, it's no open communication. You know, people use social media as a way to have their own outlet, and then some people get lost in the sauce. People get lost in these conversations, they DMs, they comments and stuff like that, and putting heart pictures on, putting heart emojis under people's pictures. Like, no, like, I feel like in this day and age, like, and this goes for not even just a couple, this goes for a family, this goes for especially a family, because I've seen families thrive on social media. You feel what I'm saying? Because they children reach a position where they children got so much clout from the platform that they make just from having fun, spending time with each other online, that their children, they can't just go online and do what the fuck they want, because somebody's going to recognize them. They're going to be in big trouble, right? That's how deep it can get. Because a lot of people be like, oh, them kids not safe because they online and they got all these followers and blah, 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 blah. No, they're safe because they got so much clout. They can't just do whatever the fuck they want to. People is, who you barking on? I'm barking on your mother. I was barking on your mother coochie. Kind of like how Raw Brax was barking on Tracy coochie. Because it tastes like Denny's mustard. Okay. So I had the benefits of being your stepmother, but I don't want that bitch. But anyway, y'all, that's all I wanted to say. Peace.